Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mellow Monday. Yep, and once again, I'm mellowing out right here in my living room, right next to our wood stove. It feels so good and warm and toasty, considering it's in the low 20s outside right now. But hey, we are going to mellow out with Psalm 95 this coming Sunday. Psalm 95 is one of those psalms that are called the enthronement psalms. We had one of those recently with an alternate psalm that we could have picked out for Transfiguration Sunday, and that was Psalm 99, because Psalm 95 is right in the midst of that grouping of 90s psalms that are called enthronement psalms because, why? They're talking about God being king. King not just of their nation, the nation of Israel, but King of the universe, of all creations. Look at this. Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Okay, already you see what's happening here in this psalm. It's an imperative. Come. To do what? To sing to the Lord, to make a joyful noise. And unfortunately, there's no English translations that really bring out the power of that make a joyful noise. The closest I can come is the old expression, raise the roof, and you kind of pump your hand up and down. Yeah, raise the roof with a really loud noise. Just let it all hang out. The rock of our salvation, let us come. Here again. Now, there's that imperative. You got to come. Come into his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. So go ahead, sing your lungs out. Yeah, even though we're in the midst of Lent and we're supposed to tone it down a bit, hey, you know what? Even Martin Luther didn't like getting rid of the Alleluias during the Lenten season. Did you know that? I just discovered that in some of my reading this week. I didn't realize he was dead set against that. He said we should always be shouting those Alleluias. Okay, well, we've taken them out, and just so we can heighten the anticipation come Easter Sunday. So these first two verses are telling us to really just open up your voice, and I don't care if you sing out of tune, just sing it out. Sing it out with all you got within you. And why do we do it? Verse 3 says, for the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. You see, the people back then, thousands of years ago, they lived in a very pluralistic society. Well, we do too. But it was one in which every nation had its own set of gods. Mostly they were nature gods. Israel was unique among them in that they had one God. It was the God who created everything, including these other gods. All right. So, and now there's a description of this great God who is a great king above all gods. In his hands, we're talking about creation now, are the depths of the earth, the heights of the mountains. See, down, up, the sea is his, and the dry land. So everything, everything. And his hands have made it all. Verses 4 and verses 5 tell us that. And it's verse 4 starts with his hands creating, and verse 5 ends with his hands creating. Okay, so now that's the first thing. Now there's another imperative. Oh, come. What's interesting is it's two different words, Hebrew words for the word come, because this one is going to be a little bit different. Oh, come. Now you're coming with a more reverent type of approach. Let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. Okay, so we come in all singing and shouting and screaming. Now we kind of quiet down a little bit. And why do we do it? He is our God, and we realize that we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. So this is a really cool psalm. A lot of scholars believe this was written as part of the fall harvest Sukkoth Feast of Tabernacles. It's all the same thing, but also it would celebrate and move into the new year. So what a great time to lift up Yahweh, the Lord, as King. Not just our King, but King of the universe. But this is when things get a little strange in this psalm, and you wonder, was this some sort of addition later on, or is this part of the psalm? No, it's part of the original psalm, as best we can tell. You get into verse 7, and the last part of verse 7 kind of makes you stop in your tracks. It says, "Oh, that today you would listen to his voice." Are we missing something here? Yeah. Do not harden your hearts as at Meribah, as on the day at Massa in the wilderness, talking about the Israelites as they're leaving Egypt, led by Moses after he had, and God had freed them from slavery in Egypt, and they're complaining and they're griping, they're groaning against God, you know. For 40 years I loathed that generation and said, "They are a people whose hearts go astray, and they do not regard my ways. Therefore, in my anger I swore," here it comes, "they shall not enter my rest." In other words, listen to God's word. You're coming in singing and shouting and proclaiming he's king. Well, stop in your tracks just long enough to hear what he has to say to you and not just get caught up in the emotion of the moment. Oh, it's a great psalm. Psalm 95, again, right in that whole grouping of psalms in the 90s that celebrate God, Yahweh, the Lord, as King of the universe. Right now, I'm king of my little chair, sitting here, with one of my cats by the wood stove. Yeah, there's the wood stove. You can see it there. And we are going to mellow out and keep warm. God's blessings be with you.